Hey guys, so the Crochet Witch. How are you guys doing today? So, you guys want to hang out with me for a little bit and crochet? I could use the company. I could use the company. I've already got Maverick's company, but he's sorry if I'm making you seasick. He's chilling back here. He's sleepy. Yeah. My recycling box is back there too. Sure, you guys want a really great view of that right now. I think I missed recycling day again, so here they are. Anyway, hi. I was trying to get the camera low enough. Let me see if I can adjust you a little bit for when I sit back. I don't want to lower it too much, but one should be able to see, if I'm crocheting with you guys, you should be able to see me crochet, right? Anyway, so I'm working on some of my vintage squares, and I have my Diet Pepsi, which I'm going to take a drink of, actually, since I talked about it. Better. Anyway, hi. Sorry if you can hear my air conditioning, but I did my movie marquee video, and I said we would talk more in a different video about some stuff, but it's hot. It's not, according to the weather, it's not that hot outside. Like, it's in the high 60s, it says, but I mean, it's also 3:30 in the morning at this point, but it's hot in the house, and I am hot, so we're gonna keep the air conditioning on if you don't mind. I usually have, like, I showed you guys my awesome happy vintage fan purchase that I found. I have it on my desk, but I usually have that going too. I turn that off for you guys, but and I have my mic on, like I mentioned in the other video, so hopefully you hear me very well over the air conditioning and stuff. If not, then I have, I guess, two videos, but where you can't hear me very well. But I really needed to be out here hanging out with Maverick, so I hope this is a good compromise with the mic, because I've been missing him, and he's been missing me. I mentioned that David got a promotion, and he's at a different store right now. Like, his goal is to be back at his other store, his old store, again in like a year. That this is kind of like a promotion and training session to get another promotion, basically, for a place that he could fill in his old store. So it's like a double promotion in a way that he hasn't gotten yet. He's gotten one promotion of the two, part one of two. But, and it's good. Like, that's good. Don't get me wrong. But I already don't like change. You know that. And the sleeping schedule changes. It's a lot. And he's in bed a long time before I get home from work, and he takes Maverick to bed with him, which that's there's no reason for Maverick to be. Did you hear that? I don't know if you can hear the beeping. It'll stop. It's the dehumidifier because it's so humid here. I have to go after this video. I'll have to go empty it. Anyway, there's no reason, like, this right there. That's like Maverick's crate. that, like, if nobody's home, he has to be in his crate. And before he started sleeping upstairs with us, he was in his crate, because, like, if he's alone, he's destructive. Like, not awful or anything, but, like, stuff gets pulled out and he gets crazy, and he can't be left, like, for long periods of time by himself and that kind of thing. Like, if we just go outside or something, that's one thing, but, you know, he's mischievous. But we definitely couldn't, like with any of our other dogs, they outgrew it, and he's still a puppy. So I mean, he may outgrow it. I'm not saying he can't, but with any of our old dogs, we could, like, when we went to, like, concerts and stuff, like, you know, they didn't have to be crated. Abby did for a while when she was a puppy, and then she outgrew it, just like he will. You know, he's in the stage now at this moment where he couldn't. So, you know, while I'm at work, I understand, but then David doesn't get up until 5 in the morning, so I don't get to see my little man until 5 in the morning. And I thought it was just me being a baby, but the other night I ended up going upstairs when I knew that they were about to get up, and I don't think Maverick likes being away from me either, because he not only greeted me at the door, but he jumped up on the bed, and then when I snuggled him, he immediately laid his head on my hand, and he just, like, cuddled up into me and was so at peace that he like went back to sleep, basically. Like, he wanted his mom. So, and then now, like, my day off is today, so he did not go upstairs with his dad. He wanted his mom. So, like, even though what he's doing right now is sleeping, you can see his butt right there, he wanted to be with me. Because, you know, he's my little shadow, he's my baby. So, like, this change has been rough already. I don't like it. He don't like it. But I'm not currently, in the foreseeable future, getting out of work early enough to make it home before he would go to bed. And there is no reason really for him to be locked up in this little crate until I get home. You know, it's only a few hours until they wake up and I get him back. But, you know, I miss coming home and him waiting for me. It sucks. So I don't like it. That being said, speaking of work, I think I am going to be looking for a new job, though, because while I was away, the videos that I made, you know, of my vacation, we'll put that in quotation marks, vacation, because I thought it was a vacation. I told you guys it was a vacation. I put in for a vacation. It got approved as a vacation. I did something I don't normally do, which is I split it into 2 of our work weeks. So I worked a couple days. I went on vacation. And then when the next week started, I was on vacation. And then I worked like a day or something like that. And then my days off happened or whatever. So that's how my vacation time was split up. So the first pay, we get paid weekly. So my first check came in. Everything was fine. I got my pay because, you know, I worked a couple days and I got vacation pay a couple days and all. Everything was fine. The second week rolled around of my vacation pay, and it so happened that was when I think I updated you guys. I had been like to the doctor and I had gotten a few prescriptions. So I had prescriptions to pick up from the pharmacy. I had my phone bill due. And this isn't like, oh, no, it's not like poor Heather kind of thing, but I'm just saying, you know, all this stuff's going on. So my phone bill was due. I had obviously like real life things going on, you know, groceries, phone bill, prescriptions. Obviously I had to put, you know, gas in my car and everything. Just real life things, you know. My paycheck rolls around into my account. I got paid for 1 day of work. 1 day. And I kind of rolled my eyes and messaged my boss, and I was like, you forgot to put in my vacation time. And she messaged me back, and she goes, no, I didn't. I'll message them and see what happened on their end. And at that point, I was like a little irritated because every time that happens, they want to pay you on the next check. And I was like, that I can't let, you know, like I had already started messaging her because I was like, I got all this stuff, you know, the stuff I just mentioned. I was like, I got all this stuff going on. I was like, they can't pay me. Like next time, they have to pay me, you know. She messages back with a bunch of forwarded stuff from their conversation. They didn't intend to pay me. It wasn't a mistake on their end. They weren't going to pay me. Even though it was the same vacation week, somehow, and it was approved, mind you. It was approved weeks before I went. By them. Somehow, they decided between week 1 and week 2 of the split up vacation that I had gone into negative time by 13 or 14 hours. And how, if it was already approved and it wasn't negative, how, might you ask, did that happen? Because that's what I asked. And that's what my boss asked, because I saw her text. She showed me her text messages to them. And they sent back, instead of answering, because they didn't, mind you, they did not answer. They sent back basically a quotation of our company's handbook for requesting off, for time off. Which we had done. And her reply to them, sorry, I'm out of frame because yeah. Her reply to them was that we had done that and that they had approved it. And then she's more political and polite than I am in these situations. I do try to be, but I mean I was the one in the center of things, so I don't think I would have been as collected. So she said, maybe we need a crash course in how these things are accrued, and how you're going about, these how you're going about coming to these solutions or whatever. I can't remember word for word, but she was pretty politically polite about it, and they just didn't answer her. This was like 2 weeks ago at this point. Well, on payday, it'll be so in about 4 days, it'll be 2 weeks ago. They were just fine with. I think for that week, I had because I had split up vacation time and actual clocked in time. I had clocked like 1 day's worth of work. I think maybe like one and some change. So like they were just gonna let me get paid for that and not say one single word, and they were fine with that. And they had no intention of saying that they changed some policy which they obviously did, since they approved it beforehand. They obviously did, since suddenly I was negative hours when I wasn't the week before, and I split my time up. And it happened to that, like, I came back and another person went and they did the same thing to him, the exact same thing, with no intent to even like warn him or let him know or anything. So he is now looking for a new job. There's another girl that basically works my position, but in the mornings she's looking for a new position, or a new job, I mean. Yeah, there's a lot of us that are fed up with that already. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that are changing, both at my job and at home. And I just, I don't know. I guess I've just, being somebody who doesn't like change to begin with, it sort of made me, and just lose my crojo is the simplest way to put it, you know? Yeah. It almost, I don't know. I guess it's like I shouldn't say we're all adults. I don't know who all watches me. Maybe we are not all adults. I don't know. But I feel the majority of us are adults. I certainly am. I can speak for myself. I'm an adult, so I know how the world works. I'm not dumb to it, you know. I know not everybody cares about everyone else's well-being, I guess. I disappoint myself time and time again, expecting people to, because I try to. Like I supervise, a team at my job, and I would never let them do something that put their pay in jeopardy. Like if I saw they were doing something and realized, like, oh hey, you realize you're taking time off that you don't have, right? Or I would never not speak up, or even if I was like on the pay department and I realized it too late, I guess, I would at least be like, hey, you know, your check tomorrow is going to be short. Or, I don't know, something, I guess. Even if I didn't catch something, and then they came to me, like the way my boss came to them, and then they just didn't care, you know? I don't know. It just sucks. It sucks that, again, I know, I'm an adult, and the world is not catering to me by any means, but it still sucks. A lot. When I think a lot of you guys were around when I said that our company had got bought out by these folks, and I don't feel like our last owners would have done that. I certainly know the time off policy was different with them, so like we at least understood it better, I guess, too. Because like if somehow this was some error on both my part and my boss's part, it wouldn't have been, because we understood it. Like I always knew how much time off I had with them. I knew how much time off though that I had last year, because they said that it wasn't changing, and it didn't. And then suddenly this year, like I haven't taken off anywhere near the amount of time off I should have. And they're already telling me that I have taken too much and they're not paying me. So, yeah, anyway. So I think I'm looking for something else. So maybe I'll find something that fits with, if nothing else, me and Maverick's schedule a little bit better. I don't know what'll fit with David's schedule right now. But I mean, I'd really like to be stay-at-home mom with Maverick, but I don't think I can get YouTube to take off well enough for me right now. I never completed my goal of getting enough patterns made. So I don't know that I can do that, but I can make a lot of granny squares, and there's just not a market for that. But yeah, So I should have been working a lot on my movie marquee this month, and that's one of the things that, even though I lost my Crojo, I powered through doing a little bit of that. The other thing that I kind of like, I don't want to say forced myself to do, because I wanted to do it, but in a way it wasn't like, sounds so bad saying it this way, it wasn't something that sparked joy. Because crochet in general didn't, for a little while. That's all I'm saying. Like crochet in general didn't, but the end result sparked joy. I ended up working on my friend Nate's birthday present, kind of out of necessity, to be fully honest. I was gonna get him something for his birthday, because it was June 19th. So it was just this last week. Just this last week, when I had no money because I didn't get paid when I thought I would. Thank you, bosses. So I had to put something together. So what I ended up doing was, I had the very beginning of a corner to corner blanket started, and some of you guys will remember it from my ancient whips. It was a corner to corner camouflage blanket, and I had been deciding whether I was going to make it or frog it, and I thought I was going to make it, but it still ended up just sitting there. Well, I made it. I put that baby together. I don't have it to show you guys. I was going to do a whole video on it and everything, and I got it done, and I mean in the nick of time. I wished I had put a border on it, and I didn't have time. I ended up giving it to him, and I said, if you want to leave it with me, I will put a border on it, like if you want it to be a little bit bigger. And he loved it and didn't end up, he's like, no, I'm keeping it. You can't have it back. I'm keeping it. So I am going to put a picture up right here of it, laid out on the bed that I have in there. So it was like a single bed size. I mean, it was a good size. It was a good size that I had to like quickly get done. I originally intended for it to be like a queen size, but I also had yarn issues with it because the yarn I originally got, let me tell you what, the yarn that I originally got, that camouflage color, yes, Red Heart still has camo. It's not the same camo as it was back in the day. I got that when I was married, which was quite a while ago, considering David and I have been together 8 years, and I believe I was divorced for 3 years before I got with it. No, not 3 years. Maybe 3 years. For a while before I got with him, anyway. It was a while anyway. But I got divorced in... When did I get divorced? It's been a while. Anyway, I don't know. I think I finally made it my goal, or met my goal, to forget about my ex-husband. At least year-wise. It's been a while though. But yeah, camo is not the same anymore. It's obviously still camo, but yeah, it is not the same. So when I picked up another one, they're not the same. And the other color I had with it was a Red Heart, I think it's medium time. They're also not quite the same, but I still used those. And I think you can see in the picture that they're slightly different green, but I layered them kind of, so they looked, I think they looked okay. But yeah, I was pretty happy with it. He was pretty happy with it. If I have a picture of him, I'll put it up here, but he sent me a picture where he like wrapped himself in it. He was so happy with it. So like the end result of it was good, you know. But just, I don't know, like throughout the month I've been kind of want, you know. I started the month real strong, and then just got really, really upset about that whole vacation thing. Well, really about the whole pay thing. I've never been, I don't think I've ever been this angry at my job before. Like, I've been frustrated and I've dealt with a lot of different things, but like, I don't think I've ever been this angry or like felt this betrayed. I might be overreacting, and I might be making it worse than it is, but I've still never felt anything to this degree. I don't know. And like, my point was, I wish that I could overreact enough to get them to fix it, not only for me, but like, okay, I ended up putting my phone bill and my medication on my credit card. I had enough from the one day's pay and like a little left over, because I'm not like, paycheck to paycheck precisely or anything, but like I had a little left over from the last paycheck. And then, the 1 day pay that they gave me, that paid for groceries. I put my other stuff on my credit card. And I pick up Nate like every day for work. So he actually filled my gas tank, which was really nice of him, really generous of him. But, and that was another thing with the owners of work. Like, I pick up one of their employees every single day. Like, yes, it's by my choice, but like, I pick up one of their employees every single day. I don't get paid to do that. Like, as far as they're concerned, I'm saying, we don't, like, either me or Nate pay for that. I don't do it on their time clock, so I don't do it on their dime at all. So I make sure that he gets to work. I don't ever ask for any sort of compensation, and we pay employees to go like pick up other employees if we have to and that kind of thing. If something happens or if they have to take employees home, we pay them to do that. I've never once asked for any kind of like, well, can I get gas money since I pick him up all the time, or never. Never even thought about it because I wouldn't ever, he's my friend. I wouldn't. But just aggravating. But I wish my overreacting would get a result, because there are people, I'm sure, at my work or in one of the other, building sites that they have that can't, like, that don't have friends to fall back on, that don't have credit cards, that do live paycheck to paycheck, So maybe that would help them out, because this wouldn't happen next time or whatever. Maybe they would define their policies and not, for lack of a better word, not screw people over, because I feel screwed over. I don't know. I don't think it's right. So I'm going to try to quit ranting about that now, but it's very irritating. So yeah, anyway, think I'm looking for a different job. Maverick, you want to get a paper route? He's like, he just wants to sleep. Yeah. Aside from that, oh, there's something cool that happened. I have good news. 30 minutes worth of ranting, and I have good news. So, small world. My friend Seth, that I also work with, it's another work story, but it's not a bad one. He and I were working together, and a car pulls up, because I'm headed into work, right, the other day. Car pulls up, and turns out it's a lady that's probably watching me right now, that I know, that knows me because she knew my grandma. And I stopped to chat for a second with her, and she asks if her grandson's working. And like for a split second, it didn't dawn on me whatsoever who her grandson was, because as far as I was concerned, I knew her, not anybody else. I knew her. And I said, "Who's your grandson?" And she's like, "Seth." Like, duh, And I went, oh my God, you're Seth's grandma. Never dawned on me that this, like, for the last year or whatever, Seth has been telling me, my grandma watches you on YouTube. My grandma knows you. My grandma is, like, he says stuff like, my grandma's your biggest fan. My grandma knows everything about you. And I thought he was just, like, being funny or like blowing smoke or whatever. Like, I'm sure, like, oh yeah, I'm sure your grandma watches me, but like, what, your grandma's my biggest fan, like, whatever, like he's being funny just because, like, I have videos on YouTube or whatever. No, turns out I'm not saying his grandma's my biggest fan. I'm saying his grandma really does know everything about me, because his grandma's known me since I was like this big. Like, really, really, really small world. I thought that was so cool. Yeah, so like I went into work, and because I got there before him, and I go, Seth, what's your grandma's name? And he told me, and I said, I know your grandma. And he goes, yeah. And I said, no, I know your grandma. And he goes, she knows you too. And I said, no. I've known your grandma since before you were born. And he's like, yeah. Like, he's been trying to tell me that this whole time. And I never caught up. I just thought it was funny. Like, maybe you guys are like, whatever, dude. Like, like, you had to be there maybe, but it's crazy. She knew my grandma. I know that I told you guys the story a long time ago about how when I was a little Heather, that there was a guy my grandma worked with that, to me, back in the day, probably just because he had a mustache and wore a Tiger's hat, he looked like Tom Selleck. He looked like, but not Tom Selleck, Magnum PI, right? He looked like Magnum PI. He was Magnum PI to little Heather, and I called him Magnum. And I dearly, dearly loved him. He loved the nickname. He loved that I called him that, to the point that I don't know. I know that his last name was the same as mine. We were not related. And that's, as far as his real name, the only thing that I remember about his real name, because he was always Magnum. Well, there was another fella that was Kenny Rogers. Not his real name. Because to little Heather, he had gray beard and he looked like Kenny Rogers to me. Well, as it turns out, Kenny Rogers was I'm not positive if they were specifically married or just together, but he was the other to Seth's grandma. I knew them before Seth was ever born. And then many, many years later, Seth grew up and became my best friend. How weird is that? Small world. And because he works with me. Very weird. So, and now you guys have all taken a trip down memory lane with me. Anyway. Is it weird hanging out and crocheting with me and just talking about random things that are not crochet? I don't do that very often. I mean, I guess I do when I go off on my like Stranger Things tangents or like 80s tangents or whatever, but I don't talk about a lot of like random life things, because like I try to just, especially the whole raise thing, I try to stay really positive and happy, and I think generally I succeed at that. Sometimes when I'm like missing in action, it's because I've taken some like mental health time to like burrito away and, you know, stay away from the human population in general, I guess, including YouTube. But I did promise, I promised Courtney from Fiber Fox Studios that I would try to at least check in when I do that, so I don't worry anybody. But I'm also trying not to completely burrito away too badly. With summer picking up in a tourist town, work gets crazier too. So I can't promise that I won't disappear a little bit, but I'm trying real hard not to. Yeah, I'm like I said, I hate change. And like David's hours and stuff isn't, I didn't think it would affect me like this. I'm still very excited for him, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to view it as negative. It's just the change itself in the actual, in like in his absence, I guess. Because even though it always seemed like some people thought we never saw each other before, we always did, and we made it work and everything. So the change now feels much further apart, I guess. And I'm sure we'll adapt and make stuff work. Like I know he's got to get used to his own schedule. His schedule, he's only been there. This would have been his second week. And speaking of vacations, he's on vacation for his second week of work. Like he started work. Got sent home, not for anything bad. He got sent home that night so that he could, because they were going to start him on nights to like acclimate him because he came from overnights already. But they sent it that he got there, got introduced to people for like an hour or two, and they were like, you know what, actually go home, get more sleep, come back, like take another day because his day off started or something. I'm trying to remember how it went. And then come back in the actual daytime for a daytime shift, because you're going to have one day where the store manager, who's your direct boss, because he's her assistant, the store manager can like walk you around your full job duty. And then she's got to go to like a class for the week. And for the first week you're here, you have to be the acting store manager. Congratulations. So that was his first week. And he did very well. They even had like some surprise inspection and passed it under his supervision. So he's flourishing. Like he's doing very well. I am super, super proud of him. Like, don't get me wrong. The whole change thing is purely selfish on my part only. Like, it's nothing negative about him or the change part. Like I'm happy for him and glad it's going on, right? But then his second week, which is now, it's what's going on now. He had put time off in for a vacation just because he has so much time. Because, you know, not to get back on the subject or anything, but like his job actually gives him his time off that he's earned. So, it rolled over at this store. So he got to take it, like they honored it. Because he just started, like at his old one, he just started like filling in the calendar with spots that he could take off, because otherwise he would have to take like he would lose some of it or have to roll over like a ton of it and potentially still lose some of it, basically. So we just started filling in random spots. So yeah, his second week there, he got a vacation. So like really, he hasn't had a chance yet to fully take in and appreciate and find out what his actual like schedule is going to be and find a rhythm and all that stuff. So we haven't found a rhythm yet for like what works and everything with our schedules and such. Plus, if I do end up like quitting, that's going to be a whole other like pit of change. I don't know how much my anxiety with change is gonna, like, I don't know how much anxiety I can handle with how much change brings forth anxiety. So maybe we'll have to get settled with his job before I actually do like quit. Like unless we win the lotto and I could just literally quit and just be Maverick's mom, I could handle that change for sure, because then I could be on whatever schedule with them both that I need to be. But anyway, so that's what has me up at after 4 in the morning now, making squares for my happy squares from my retro yarn and talking to you guys, because I really needed the talk and I really needed the retro happy time crochet, because it has made me want to get back into my crocheting and stuff. I really needed it. My brain is, I don't know how to even describe it. It's like my brain is wanting to just dissociate, even if my body is like amongst other people and being social. My brain wants to just shut down and not handle anything else, really. It's weird. I don't like it. So yeah, I'm going through an awkward stage, even though I'm fully grown. Anyway, at least I'm getting some squares done though, so that's good. I'm trying to work through this yarn, because let me tell you what, I've been bad, and it's Hirschner's fault. Yeah, I'm gonna blame Hirschner's. I didn't do anything crazy. I did not. I got a little bit of yarn coming in. I'm obviously I'm gonna show you guys when it gets here, but I did just I budgeted hard, because I got, it's been another week since the whole payday debacle thing. So has it been a week or 2 weeks? Because I made up ground anyway. Like, I've paid my credit card back off from all the stuff I had to put back on it. Yeah, because I mean, there's been, I don't want to say a happy ending yet, because obviously they still haven't paid me and I'm still mad and I'm still, all that stuff, or there wouldn't have been a whole rant in part of this video. But I'm recovering, financially, just not emotionally, apparently. But so I've been real good. I paid my bills, and I paid off what I needed to pay off, where I borrowed from here and there and everything. And I don't know if you're aware, for those of you who are interested, but you already know, I'm sure, that Hirschner's has had a sparkly line of Halloween yarn. Well, let me tell you. See, there's yarny bits. You just had to stick around for it. Hirschner's has released 2 other colors of their sparkly Halloween yarn. I know one is called Goblin, and it's like black and different greens. And one is called something else. Sorcerer, maybe? I can't remember for sure, but it's really pretty. It's really pretty, you guys. It's like pink and purple and orange and black, I think, something like that. It's really pretty. I cannot say that enough. It's really pretty, and it's sparkly. And so I got some, and now I'm sure this is honestly my predetermined opinion. We'll see how right or wrong I am. My predetermined opinion is that this next thing is going to be a little gimmicky, but we'll see. Because I bought it anyway. Is they also released a retro edition yarn in the 2-ply version of their it's a version of their 2-ply yarn. It's a set of colors that are, I mean, there's a rust, there's an avocado, there's a cream. There's a set of them. I think there's 8 of them, maybe. I can't remember off the top of my head. I know there's a purple in there. There's a yellow, obviously, like a gold. Probably a blue. I can't remember how many off the top of my head for sure. And there is also, either with the set or sold separately, a sack that you can get a sampler set with the sack and one of each yarn, or you can get the sack separately, all sorts of different ways. I ended up getting this sampler set because I'm a sucker. We'll see how, we'll see how retro-y everything is. But the label says retro. I wasn't going to be able to resist that. The yarn by itself is $1.99 because, like I said, it's just the smaller 2-ply yarn in various colors. So, yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I didn't go like hog wild or anything because money, but I definitely wanted to grab some of that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have any. I mean, I definitely don't have any other purchases. I've been eyeballing a vintage auction on eBay, but I'll have to wait till payday, I think, for that, and see if they decide to pay me. I'm not bitter or anything. I know I'm you really don't have to tell me that. I'm pretty sure I'm overreacting, but still very upset. I don't think I would be nearly as upset if they had just answered my boss. Okay, I'm not going to get back into it. I promise I'm not. Anyway, I'm at like 53 minutes, so I probably should just shut up. I'm almost done with this square. I'll let you guys go when I am done with it, because I'm almost done. I can't even pick up this yarn to show you, but this is the baby ombre retro yarn that I had gotten. I really love it. I probably should at least show you the way the squares are working up. Oh, it's really washed out. There we go. Isn't that pretty? I love it. So I'm not a very pastel-y person, but I do like the way this one looks. And I got a really, 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 really good deal. The next time I open some retro yarn, I got an eBay auction. Speaking of eBay, I got a couple other retro yarns already off of eBay that I want to share with you. That'll have to wait for another video because I don't have them with me. But I'm really excited. I was like stalking this color in another auction for like a while, and I was debating on them before because that particular auction was pretty pricey, but I was still wanting them at the time, and they ended up selling. And then I actually went back to the person that I recently bought from, and I bought a few of her auctions, and then she combined my shipping, and then I realized I had bought another auction from her like the week before. I went back to her shop to see like what else she might have, and she had it actually, so I bought from her, and it was like, she's very well priced actually, so, and she's got a lot of colors that I like, so like I don't know if this is just like if she's does a lot of estate sales or if it's like from her personal collection and she's selling them or what, but yeah, I really am happy with her yarn too. Like she's kept good care of it. If it's hers, I don't know, but anyway, appreciate you guys hanging out with me and letting me talk and just talk. It's nice. If you don't hate the fact that I've been ranting and rambling for an hour, I should do some more of these late night talks. All right, it's my last one. No, it's not my last square, but it's my last one for this video. All right, thank you for hanging out with me, you guys. Thank you for letting me ramble. All right, I will talk to you guys soon. I love you guys so much. Maverick. No, he's out for the count. I was going to see if he was going to say goodbye, but you just saw a little floopy butt. Bye, guys. I love you.